Cameras are like magic boxes that can freeze our favorite moments forever, but sometimes they catch something really spooky, like a picture of a rock in a place where it shouldn't be. It's like it moved all by itself. In this video, we're going to look at 30 photos from the past that still puzzle scientists today. Cooper's corpse. Imagine moving into a new home, all excited to start a new chapter. That's exactly how the Cooper family felt back in the mid-20th century when they bought a house in Texas. Like many of us, they snapped a picture to mark the occasion. But when they got the photo developed, it wasn't the happy family moment they expected. Instead of smiles, they found something shocking hanging in the air. Was it an animal? A human body? Nobody could say for sure. This eerie image, dubbed Mr. Cooper's corpse, went viral, sparking all sorts of theories. Some thought it might be a body that accidentally fell from the roof right when the photo was taken, creating this disturbing sight. But with no way to reach out to the Cooper family and ask, the mystery remains unsolved. Dalan Pua's last picture. Meet Dalan Pua, known as Mo to his friends. He was just 18 when he went missing in February 2015 after a hike in Hawaii. Despite his grandmother's concerns, Mo went ahead with the hike at the famous Haiku Stairs. Sadly, that hike marked the last time anyone heard from him. Mo had been sharing photos of his adventure with his family, but then silence. What happened to him remains a mystery. But could there be a clue hidden in one of his pictures? Take a closer look. Zoom in and you might spot something strange. A man off the main path, crouching behind a bush. Who is he? Did he have something to do with Mo's disappearance? Over the years, many have wondered, but we still don't have the answers. Lord Combermere's ghost. Let's travel back to 1891 and step into the house of Miss Sybil Corbett. In this old photograph, something's definitely off. Take a look at the man sitting in the chair. He looks kind of see-through, right? Well, that's because there was nobody actually sitting there. So, who's the mysterious figure in the picture? That's the question that's been puzzling people for years. The Dalan Lights. Let's talk about aliens. Now, whether you believe in them or not, folks in the Dalan Valley of Norway have something strange happening in their skies. Check out this photo of an odd light formation in the middle of the night. Some might say it's just lightning, but this pattern looks way too intense for that. So what's causing it? Is it an alien spacecraft? Maybe a message from another planet? Honestly, we're not sure, but one thing's for sure. These Dalan Lights sure make for a breathtaking sight. The ghost of Freddy Jackson. During World War I, there were loads of photos taken, but one stands out for its eerie vibe. It's a group picture snapped by members of the Royal Naval Air Service. At first glance, everything seems normal, but zoom in closer and you'll be in for a shock. See that ghostly face? That's supposedly Freddy Jackson, a mechanic who passed away just 2 days before the photo was taken. What's even spookier is that his funeral supposedly happened on the exact day of the photo. Now, some folks say it's just a case of double exposure, or mistaking someone else for Freddy. But there's something about this that feels off, don't you think? Solway Firth Spaceman. Back in 1964, Englishman Jim Templeton snapped this photo that stirred up quite a fuss. In the picture, you can see Templeton's daughter, but there's also a mysterious figure standing behind her. The catch? There was no one there when Templeton took the photo. Even Kodak experts couldn't find any signs of tampering, confirming the picture's realness. But who's that mysterious figure? Nobody has a clue even to this day. Time-traveling woman. People have been tossing around the idea of time travel for ages. Some even claim to have spotted instances where it might have actually happened. Take this photo, for example. At first glance, it seems like any other old picture, but look closer. The woman in it appears to be holding a mobile phone. Now, this photo was snapped back in the 1930s, way before mobile phones were even a thing. So how did she get her hands on one? Was she a time traveler? The mystery lingers on. The Madonna. Painted back in the 15th century, the Madonna with Saint Giovino is a famous piece of art. But it's not just famous for its beauty. It's also stirred up quite a bit of controversy. Take a look at the picture, and you'll see why. Above Mary's right shoulder, there's a dark object that looks like a disc. Now, Considering this painting was done centuries ago, some folks wonder if it could be a UFO. Could the artist Tirrandio have actually spotted aliens? It's a wild idea, but who knows? The Watertown Ghosts. Back in 1924, a ship called the SS Watertown was sailing from the Panama Canal to New York City. Sadly, 2 crew members, James Courtney and Michael Meehan, passed away from gas poisoning while cleaning the water tank. As per maritime tradition, they were buried at sea. But here's where things get eerie. After their burial, several crew members claimed to have seen the faces of Courtney and Meehan in the water. The captain, intrigued, ordered photographs to be taken, and in one of those photos, you can clearly see what looks like 2 faces alongside the ship. Even after a lot of investigation, nobody could explain why this was happening. It remains one of those mysterious occurrences that continue to baffle us. Underwater phenomenon. The ocean is a vast, mysterious place, home to countless creatures, big and small. Despite all our exploration efforts, there are still plenty of secrets lurking in its depths. Take this photo, for instance. It sparked quite a debate. Snapped way back in 1965 by a man named Robert Lerick, it shows something unusual near Hook Island in Australia. Many folks think it's been doctored with Photoshop, but here's the kicker. Photoshop wasn't even invented yet. So what's in the picture? Was it a rogue wave? Maybe a gigantic sea monster? We're all ears for your theories in the comments. Archaic beach photo fashion is always changing, just like the times. So when a photo of a man on a 1930s beach started making the rounds online, people couldn't believe their eyes. While everyone else was covered up in typical 1930s beachwear, this guy stood out in some surprisingly modern clothes. People have come up with all sorts of explanations, but none of them seem to fit the bill. No matter how you look at it, this scene just doesn't add up. Hiroshima Man. In 1945, when the United States dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima, it sent shockwaves across the globe. Amidst the devastation, one photo stood out. What you're looking at here isn't a reflection, it's a shadow, etched into the concrete by the searing heat of the nuclear blast. No matter how hard you try to clean it away, that shadow remains, a haunting reminder of the lives lost that day. It's a stark symbol of someone who refused to be forgotten by history. Spirit Woman. Let's step back to 1975 when Diane Below visited St. Mary's Church in Wanstead, England with her family. While Diane sat quietly, her husband decided to capture the moment with a photo. But when he looked at the picture, he couldn't believe what he saw. You see, there was nobody behind Diane when the photo was taken, so what's that mysterious image? Nobody has a clue. It's been nicknamed the White Lady of Wanstead Church, adding to the intrigue. Black Night. When it comes to mysteries, outer space takes the cake. The vast expanse of the universe reminds us just how tiny Earth really is. Despite decades of searching, we still haven't found concrete evidence of extraterrestrial life. But every now and then we stumble upon clues that make us wonder. Back in 1960, artificial satellites in space spotted something peculiar. It was an unidentified object that specialists at NASA dubbed the Black Knight. Since its first sighting, it's popped in and out of our radar, leaving us scratching our heads. Some folks think it's just space junk, while others believe it could be an alien craft keeping an eye on us. For now, let's leave the guessing to the experts. Lady of the Lighthouse lighthouses have always held a special allure, and the St. Augustine Lighthouse in Florida is no exception. As one of the oldest lighthouses in America, it has a reputation for being haunted. For years, visitors have reported glimpses of a ghostly figure standing at the very top. Then, one day, someone managed to capture what they saw on camera. Many believe this apparition is the spirit of Maria Mestra de los Dolores Andreu, the first female lighthouse keeper in the country. Sadly, she met her tragic end after falling from the lighthouse tower. Skunk Ape. Back in the 1970s and 80s, Florida was abuzz with tales of the skunk ape, a mysterious humanoid creature. People claimed to have seen this large ape-like being roaming around, but without solid proof, these reports were mostly brushed aside. That all changed in 2000 when someone sent 2 photos to a police station in Saratoga County. The images showed a creature resembling the skunk ape, baring its teeth at the camera. With the camera's flash, its eyes glowed eerily in the night. The photos went viral, But even now, authorities haven't been able to confirm if the skunk ape is real or just a myth. The Spectre of Newbie Church. You know those spooky movies where churches end up haunted? Well, believe it or not, similar things supposedly happen in real life too. Let's journey to the Newbie Church in North Yorkshire for our next story. This old church has been around for ages, but it seems deserted for decades. Why? Well, it's said that folks have seen ghostly figures inside. In 1963, someone managed to snap a photo of what looked like a ghost in the church hall. And here's the kicker. Photographic experts confirmed it was legit. Now, what was captured in that photo remains a mystery. Nobody has been able to explain it definitively, adding to the spooky allure of the Newbie Church. The Brown Lady of Rainham Hall. Let's delve into another tale of ghostly encounters, this time at Rainham Hall, an ancient building in Norfolk, England. This place has been around for centuries, serving as the seat of the town's family for generations. On September 19th, 1936, photographers working at Rainham Hall captured what would become one of the most famous examples of spirit photography. The photo made its way into County Life magazine, and many believed it depicted the ghost of Lady Dorothy Walpole, a mistress of the manor from the 18th century. But does this photo prove that ghosts are real? Well, if it does, then it seems like we've got a lot more to learn about these otherworldly figures. Bigfoot. Forget about the Loch Ness Monster or the Chupacabra. Bigfoot takes the spotlight as one of the most talked about mythical creatures of our time. For years, folks have claimed sightings of this giant ape-like creature with human-like features. Despite numerous alleged encounters, there's still no solid proof of Bigfoot's existence, leading many to doubt its reality. But then, a few years back, someone dropped a clip on the internet that turned skeptics into believers. Now you might think it's just another ape, but take a closer look. Most apes have a hunched posture when walking, but this creature strides as straight as a human. Plus, it seems tall and slender, unlike your typical gorilla. So what is it then? Your guess is as good as mine. But one thing's for sure, it sure resembles Bigfoot, perhaps heading home after causing some serious mischief. The McMinville UFO back in May 1950, an Oregon farmer named Paul Trent snapped this photo of what seems to be a flying saucer hovering in the sky. Trent insisted that he spent some time observing the UFO before taking the picture. Now there's no concrete evidence proving that it's a UFO, but at the same time, there's no evidence disproving it either. It remains one of those intriguing mysteries that continues to spark debate. Pyramids in Antarctica remains one of the least explored regions on Earth due to its extreme cold and logistical challenges. Yet, intriguing photos continue to emerge, suggesting the possibility of hidden secrets. Take this satellite image, for instance. It shows what looks like a four-sided structure protruding from the ice. Many speculate it could be a pyramid, sparking discussions about the presence of ancient structures in Antarctica. Some even believe these pyramids might rival the size of those found in Egypt and hold clues about their builders. But who built these potential Antarctic pyramids? Were they the work of aliens, an advanced civilization, or just natural formations? It's a mystery that may never be solved due to the difficulties of conducting research in Antarctica. UFO residue. Let's dive into a UFO tale from the late 1960s involving a Polish man living in Canada. This man, named Stefan, returned home from a trip with strange burns on his chest. Concerned, he went to the hospital, where doctors were puzzled by the burns and had never seen anything like them before. Stefan explained that during his trip, he had been out prospecting rocks when he encountered two UFOs. He believed these were experimental aircraft from the American Army. Stefan even drew pictures of them and approached, asking if they needed help. But as he got closer, the UFOs flew off, blasting him with an unknown substance. Now, since no one was with Stefan, we can't verify his story. But he lived for over 30 years after the incident, and his account never wavered. Could he have been one of the few with substantial UFO knowledge? It's a mystery that remains unanswered. Peking Freddy. Take a look at this photo. You see three kids playing near a chair, and it looks like there's a man walking behind them, right? Well, here's the catch. That man isn't real. The folks who took the picture swear that nobody walked by when they snapped it, especially not someone in a trench coat and hat. Interestingly, the figure in the photo resembles a creepy silhouette, almost like Freddy Krueger. But here's the thing. This photo was taken long before that character even existed. It's a mystery that leaves us wondering who or what was captured in that ghostly image. Battle of Los Angeles. When you glance at this photo, it might seem like a bunch of lights shining into the sky, but the story behind it is anything but ordinary. Taken in Los Angeles just 3 months after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, it sparked controversy. Many folks feared it was a second attack by the Japanese on the United States. However, it turned out not to be the case. Despite this, there was never an official explanation for what those lights in the sky actually were. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. In 2011, a Swedish oceanic exploration team stumbled upon something unusual on the floor of the Baltic Sea. This discovery, known as the Baltic Sea Anomaly, caught everyone's attention. The object had a diameter of around 60 feet and seemed to rest on a pillar about 8 meters tall above the seabed. Some speculated it could be a Nazi submarine, or even a UFO that crashed centuries ago. Despite several expeditions, there's still no clear explanation for what the anomaly actually is. The sailing stones of Death Valley. Deep within California's Death Valley lies a perplexing phenomenon that has puzzled scientists for years: the sailing stones. These mysterious rocks are scattered across Racetrack Playa, a dried-up lake bed in the valley. Ranging in size from small pebbles to massive boulders weighing up to 700 pounds, the stones leave experts scratching their heads about how they ended up there. What makes the sailing stones even more baffling is that they seem to move on their own. Trails left behind in the sand indicate that these rocks shift positions over time. Yet, scientists remain unsure of the mechanism behind this movement or when it occurs. The mystery of the sailing stones continues to captivate and confound researchers. Babushka Lady. One of the most significant events of the 20th century was the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Beyond the tragedy of losing a sitting president, this moment is also remembered for the mysterious figure known as the Babushka Lady. Recognized by her distinctive headgear, she appeared in several videos captured on that fateful day. While chaos erupted and others sought cover, the Babushka Lady stood still, seemingly unperturbed. Despite her proximity to JFK, her identity remains a mystery to this day. Some speculate that she may hold crucial footage of his assassination. Yet, despite the significance of her presence, the Babushka Lady's identity remains elusive. Perhaps some mysteries are destined to remain unresolved. Modern-day hipsters still skeptical about the possibility of time travel. Check out this photograph. Despite being snapped in the 1940s, it features a man sporting a remarkably modern sense of style. Pretty mind-boggling, right? What do you think? Is this evidence of time travel, or am I just seeing things? The Pteranodon. The debate over whether prehistoric animals still roam the earth has intrigued many over the years. In 1964, this photo surfaced, adding weight to the argument that they might indeed exist. Pictured here are American soldiers who claim to have downed a huge creature near Vicksburg, Mississippi. Remarkably, the animal bears a striking resemblance to a pteranodon, a massive winged reptile believed to have gone extinct millions of years ago. Does this mean that such creatures have survived into the modern era? It's a question that remains unanswered. Mabels Grandma. In March 1959, a woman named Mabel Chinery accompanied her husband to a nearby graveyard in Suffolk, England, to pay respects to her mother's remains. After returning to their car, Mabel snapped a photo of her husband. However, when they looked at the picture, they were shocked to see someone else in the back seat. Nobody else was in the car with Mabel's husband when the photo was taken, raising the question, who was the mysterious figure in the back seat? Some speculate it could have been a final goodbye from Mabel's mother, but the eerie nature of the photo is undeniable. These strange occurrences remind us that our world is full of mysteries. What do you think? Are aliens real? Do ghosts exist? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching the video, and if you found it informative, please like and subscribe to Time Capsule for similar content. We look forward to sharing more knowledge with you in the future. Until then, take care.